In this video for Positive Maths, we're going to learn about quadrilaterals. So the first question we're going to answer is, what is a quadrilateral? So it's defined as any shape with four sides. Let's look at some examples. All of these shapes that are coming up on the right are examples of quadrilaterals. So some of these we might be more familiar with than others. There are certain special quadrilateral which are of particular interest. The first one we'll discuss is a square. We know that the sides of a square are all equal in length, so that's why we have these two dashes on each line. So if these two dashes are on each line, it means all of them are the same. What we want to notice as well is that all of the angles in a square are all right angles. So let's look at the rectangle. So the opposite sides are equal to length. So the top and the bottom are marked with two dashes. Again, all four angles in the rectangle are equal to 90 degrees. The next one of particular interest is the parallelogram. So this is a four-sided shape. Again, the opposite sides are equal in length, so similar to a rectangle. However, the angles of a quadrilateral are not 90 degrees. What we do want to notice is that opposite angles here are equal in length. So one we have marked with a darker blue colour, so they're equal to each other, and the other, the lighter blue colour, they are equal to each other. Number 4 is the rhombus. So a rhombus is very similar to the parallelogram, except like a square, all of the sides are equal in measure. Again, the opposite angles are equal, but they're not equal to 90 degrees. If they were equal to 90 degrees, it would be a square. All the interior angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. In a previous video, we learned that the three angles of a triangle always add up to be 180 degrees. So let's look at this parallelogram in two halves. We'll call this side A, and we'll call this side B. So A really is a triangle, and we know that all of these angles, the light blue angles, add up to 180 degrees. So B, again, it's a triangle. We've marked these angles with a blue dot, and the sum of these three angles, again, is 180 degrees. So therefore, all of the angles in the quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. Now let's look at the diagonals for each of the four special quadrilaterals. So first of all, we have the square. What we want to notice is that the diagonal lines that you can see in the lighter orange, they bisect each other. What that means is that they cut each other in half. So we might have heard of the word intersect before, which means just to cross over. Bisector, or to bisect something, means cut in half. So we will see on each of these lines we have one dash. It cuts the bisecting lines into two halves. What we also want to notice is that the angles that it makes are all 90-degree angles. So now if we look at the rectangle, again, the two diagonals bisect each other. So they cut each other in half, and all of these distances are equal in measure. Our next one, we'll look at our parallelogram. Again, the diagonals bisect each other, but this time there's different measures. So we have two dashes on these lines, which means they are equal, and one dash on each of these lines, which means they are equal. So now let's look at the rhombus, number 4. So again, the diagonals bisect each other, but they create different lengths. So on one diagonal, it bisects it into two equal parts, the other a diagonal, bisects it into two equal parts again, but these parts are different to the previous ones. What we want to notice as well is that, again, like the square, it creates four 90-degree angles in the middle. Now let's look at a problem-solving activity. So we want to find the angle x in the figure below. We're going to use some of the rules that we know already from angles to do this. So if we look at our 88 degrees first, this is on a straight line. So because it's on a straight line, we know that the full angle marked in blue is 180 degrees. Therefore, 180 degrees minus 88 is equal to 92 degrees. So we'll fill that in here. We'll do the same thing for this angle here and for the angle over here. We can therefore find this angle here, and then we can use this angle to find x. So 180 minus 52 gives us 128, and 180 minus 134 gives us 46. So we know that all of the angles in a quadrilateral must add up to give us 360. So I'm going to call this angle here y. So we know 92 plus 128 plus 46 plus y is equal to 360. So for the next line we have 266 plus y is equal to 360. So y is equal to 360 minus 266. Y is therefore equal to 94 degrees. So now we can use that angle to find x. 180 minus 94 degrees will give us x. So x is equal 86 degrees. For more information, visit PositiveMaths.ie, email us at info@PositiveMaths.ie, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching.